got the mood lighting in the back. You want me to throw some mood lighting on too or something?
Yeah,
I got my little travel situation.
Yeah, it's the Pussy Palace. It's got to be like, I
That's
got
what's
my
up.
cat dress on. Got the hair going, so not everything's appropriate. I usually have a guest here with me, but obviously, with the circumstances, everything is, a little different. But I would
Well,
love
when we
to.
get up, when we get up to Toronto, we have to make that happen.
Oh, 100%. I would love that. Like, please, be my pleasure. And, it is an amazing, like, I'm so grateful. I'm super excited to have you here on the Nympho Diaries. So thank you so much again for that.
Yeah, thank you for
And
having me.
let's get into it. Let's dive
All
right
right.
in. So I've got the amazing King Noire here on the Nympho Diaries, live via Zoom right now, obviously, in the Pussy Palace, on the hot
Yes,
seat. How are you
yes.
doing, baby?
I'm good. I'm good. It is good for a king to relax in the Pussy Palace. I appreciate being here.
I noticed a little smirk you had when you said that. So it's not your first time in a
Yes,
Pussy
yes.
Palace, I'm assuming.
No, I like to think that I am always a welcome guest to frequent the Pussy Palace whenever possible.
Oh, 100%. Very so much
Mhm.
so. Literally, like it's hot over here. I don't know if it's the lights or it's you. Like,
I told you, you got that mood light going over there. It's
right?
looking a little bit like a Royal Fetish film scene over there.
But listen, I was actually today checking out your website and on everything, and the video that caught me, it's you and two other females, and it was like a train sort of situation going on. It was
Mhm.
fabulous. It was. How long have you been doing porn?
Uh, whew, that's a good question. I guess officially
Yeah.
about 10 years plus.
Oh wow. So you've
I've
been
I've
in the
been in
game.
I've been in the game, and I've been involved in sex work for even longer. So
Oh wow.
I'm a veteran.
So the transition was super easy from sex work right into porn.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
There's definitely the transition you make from being more anonymous and behind the scenes to being in front of the camera and everybody knowing, but kind of like when you love what you do and pleasure is kind of like your purpose in life, that's the easy part.
Listen, you got to love what you do. And I assume you love every aspect of what you do.
I do. I love it very much. I feel that it's a blessing to be able to inspire people's orgasms.
Yeah. And you know what? For the Black community within porn and the sex industry, it is very small and like close knit. Have you found any, like, I wouldn't say necessarily problems, but like issues being, a Black performer in the industry? Any like trials and tribulations you may have sort of had to, oh my God, had to kind of basically overcome within the industry? Because there's not a lot of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in America and I mean Canada as well, in the world, especially any place that experience imperialism and colonialism and all of that,
Mhm.
racism exists. So it is
Facts.
no different in porn, except for the fact that, you know, porn carries a lot of stigmas with it. It carries a lot of people's baggage to the place, whether it's people that are performing, people that are producing,
Mhm.
directing, or even the consumers of the product as well. So it's kind of like and also the industry itself isn't regulated. Like if something racist happens to you on set, it's not like, you know, people that, I don't know, the NAACP
There's not
or the
like HR that's going to be like,
Anti-Defamation
you can't
League.
do that.
Yeah, they're not going to be like step into a company and being like,
Yeah.
don't do that racist shit no more.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to deal with it in a completely different way.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you deal with it on such a personal level where it's like, that person that I just fucked called me the N-word. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck does that work? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they
That's a
they
fight
still
right
have,
there.
I do not fight women.
Of course
But
not.
it has happened to me, and it has happened to other performers as well that I know. Examples of, you really find out how people feel about you,
It's true.
and why I say that there's a historical aspect of it as well, because when you think of the plantation, we were considered property. We were bred on plantations
Yep.
and considered less than a human being, but those slave owners, overseers, mistresses of the house, and random roving bands of white people would rape us. You know what I'm saying? So they would still try to find, you know, reasons to use us for sex, even though they didn't consider us to be human. So, you know, we still run into that in our profession now. Things have not changed, just changed how people say shit and how they present themselves. So it's something that you have to maneuver within our industry. And I mean, honestly, it's something you have to maneuver when you're having casual sex, dating somebody, or you happen to accidentally marry a racist. You know what I mean? Like, it's something
we
that
see
we
it all
have
the
to fucking deal
time
with
with
all the time.
celebrities. Yeah, 100%. So when you got into the industry, was it everything you expected?
Honestly, in some ways, yes, and in some ways, no. I am very much from the place and was raised in a place that if you do not find what you want, you make what you want as you see fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there are a lot of aspects that, you know, I was in the industry like, I don't like racist shit. So I'm like, well, how can I work to make things less racist? And both Jasmine and I have that same outlook on life. So, you know, we've been working in the industry to make it what I always wanted it to be for me personally and for her as well. And I think there are a lot of people that we work with who are working to do that in a lot of aspects, whether it be from, you know, inclusivity for people of color, both in front of and behind the camera, to, you know, open-mindedness in regards to the LGBTQIA community, putting women in positions of power in front of and behind the camera.
Thing. Like, we know. And the thing is what I found a lot within the sex industry, especially with porn, it's always to make a woman like feel less than, and it's always corny. It's not really tasteful, but you can tell when a woman is involved because she's treated with respect, you know, during the video or whatever it may be. The way that it's all flows out, it's more tastefully done. It has a woman's mind, like they really took consideration what a woman wants. You know what I mean? And when women do watch porn, they want to be, you know, enjoy everything, and they don't want it to turn them off. They don't want to see something like be all riled up and then it's like, oh, this is definitely through a perspective of a man. So
for sure, I think that happens in a lot of ways when you put any marginalized person in a position of power. We know what it's like to be looked over. We know what it's like to be shitted on for our work or not recognized. And I know for sure, like in regards to, you know, now that a lot of women are being able to be behind the camera and they own their own companies, so they ain't even got to ask a motherfucker to be behind the camera. They just like, this my shit, so I'm gonna do it. you know that there's so many things. Like I say to a lot of people that a lot of higher ups in porn, they might like to fuck women, but they don't like women. And that's why you see that in porn, because it's like there's a way to be super hardcore and do all the kinds of wild, crazy fetish shit, whether it's a male dominant, a woman dominant, non-binary or trans dominant, whatever the case being, and not disrespect the person that's the bottom or the sub, unless they're asking for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can still respect the person. You know, when the cameras are off, you can still make sure that their safety words have been, like, you could do check-ins, like, okay, how is everything going for you? Is that going right? Okay, do you need something adjusted as we move forward? Because at the same time, it's a performance. At the same time, it's an art. At the same time, it's supposed to be about pleasure. Even those of us who enjoy pain with our pleasure, it's a pleasurable pain. You know what I mean? So there's ways to do the shit where everybody involved is respected. Everybody involved feels like they're placed on a pedestal that they deserve to be, even if they want to get pissed on that pedestal. You feel me?
Amen to that. Now, for those that don't know, Noir and his wife, Jasmine, do porn together. And I've seen you guys have some hot, like, I've reposted some stuff on my story and I was like, oh my God, like, there ever was a concubine to join. Hello. You two are like smoking hot.
We said that on tape. I just want you to know that.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm here for it. So I want to get into, we do something here on the Nympho Diaries every Sunday when I drop a new episode. We do a poll called the Smutty Poll Sundays. And I ask a series of really nasty questions and we see what people are into. So we're going to dive right into our first question, which you know what? I've always wanted to know this because it doesn't work for me and maybe it does for you. I asked was, do oysters make you horny? Yes or no? Because they don't make me horny at all.
Eating good food makes me horny, and I love oysters. So I don't know if it's specifically the oysters that make me horny, or that I know that usually, like, when I'm eating oysters with somebody, we probably going to fuck afterwards. So
true, and it's
I feel
slithery.
like I don't have platonic oysters. You know what I mean? Like, oysters is it's one of those, like, okay.
Remember you said this on cam.
We're about to get it in. I did say this on camera. Now I'm gonna be watching out who try to order me oysters and shit.
I'm here for it. Yeah, you know what? And I feel like a lot of people are on the same page. 77% said no. It's not a horny thing with oysters. 23% though say it makes them horny. And I could get it because of the texture of it, the way that you slurp it. And like you said, if you're going on a date with someone that's, it's not platonic, you are eating this sexy type of food, I can understand it. I can totally get it. So
I think with a lot of aphrodisiacs, there is the psychosomatic aspect of it, where it's like, if you're opening up and eating like a mango or whatever, if in your mind you're like, I really want to eat some pussy right now, then you're gonna get horny eating that.
Do you
mango,
eat food
right?
and think of that like, I need some pussy?
I do, even when I'm not eating. If I could eat pussy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I would.
Ooh,
it's my favorite meal.
Amen. Church in session. You know what? I can agree. Me personally, I am very picky with my women. And there's been like 2 women in my entire life that it was just the shape of the vagina. It was just so perfect. It was so pretty, taste right. And I just love the woman it was attached to. So I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Like, you
go to the
I don't even need anything. I don't need anything. She doesn't have to touch me. She doesn't have to do anything. But it was just like, it was like eating fruit, like, like a plump peach.
When the lips are just right, and
Peaches
it's
and
like
cream.
you just and if the juice is all over your lips and stuff, you got to get it all over your face. We go to the same church. I'm with it.
Right, big facts. I'm not gonna lie. When that song "Peaches and Cream" came out, and I was like in elementary school, I would say, like, I'm not trying to age myself right now, but like around then, I had no idea what the fuck they were talking about. I knew it was a sex song. I knew that, baby, they use peaches and cream in the bedroom. Strawberries are meant for like sexy time, whatever. And it wasn't until I was like grown, like almost 20. And I was like, oh my God, they're talking about eating pussy. Because it was like the first time a guy ate my pussy correctly. And he was like, oh, it's like peaches. I'm like, that's what this song was about? And, it's food and sex go hand in hand. Like you said, really good food. I'm ready to fuck. Like, let's go. And it's not even like what's in the food. It's just how it makes you feel, right? And I feel like horniness is just how you're feeling. So let's moving on to our next question. And this, I'm sure, has happened to you plenty of times, either alone or with Jasmine, your beautiful wife. Has a couple ever hit on you?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you take their offer? Or was like, no thanks.
I actually enjoy all kinds of variations of threesomes and variations of couples. So I have taken a lot of couples up on that offer, and I get booked by couples a lot. So that's always fun. Yeah.
I like being a unicorn too. I'm not gonna lie.
There's something magical about it.
Right.
When you're like, yo, I am that unicorn.
It's like, I want to help you guys. I want to please you guys and leave.
Word.
That's it.
All right, y'all have a good night.
Yeah.
The exit is the most magical part.
Do you know it's like,
That's
you know, when you
leave your
babysit?
trail behind.
Exactly. You know, when you babysit someone else's kid and it's like, oh, this was fun. And then they go home and then you don't have to worry about the kid anymore. It's kind of like that situation. You know, you're babysitting their love bits for a little bit, but 67% have also been in the situation where a couple has approached them. 33% no. And I always wonder what makes a couple want to approach someone. Like, how do you know that that person's not going to be like, fuck no, what the fuck you guys on? Is this a cult? Or they're going to be down. Like, how do you know that someone's down to fuck you and your girl, or you and your man, or you and your lover, your partner, period? You know?
You can feel it.
Really?
You can feel it. You can smell it in their pheromones.
Really?
You could just tell.
Like?
I mean, especially if you're having a conversation with somebody and you're both flirting with that person. If that person is, you know, volleying and keeping it going with y'all, then you know they ready to play. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's definitely a feel, and there are ways to do it. And I think it also, like, I'm big on eye contact. You know, so if somebody is across the room or meeting you for the first time, you get that eye contact that kind of,
you can feel when they want to fuck you. They're giving you fuck me eyes. Like, you know, those like, they're watching you, but not in a creepy way.
They gotta lean like that. They gotta lean back like that.
I can't hide my facial expressions. So like, I've probably given those eyes to a couple and maybe they thought I was a creep and maybe they weren't down. Like, I don't know. Maybe I need to learn my radar for who wants to be with me and, you know, vice versa. Cause I swear to God.
I think with us, with me and Jasmine, Jasmine calls herself a sexual opportunist, and I am definitely a person who loves to provide opportunity. You know, so I am very primal with kind of like the thrill of the hunt, I guess is what you would call it. You know, so like I enjoy meeting new people and like those initial kind of like conversations and that building of mutual attraction. And most of the time, wherever we are, people know we're together. So it's kind of like, you know, once you get past that conversation where they're like, oh, you know, y'all together? Yeah, we're together.
Yeah.
She says hi, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case be.
So do you both bring lovers, or is it like one, you go get him and I'll line it up?
We both have brought people to the
circle.
Table. Yeah, we both do that depending on who meets who or whatever kind of conversations we want.
I love that. I'm gonna manifest that for my future because like I know I just know because I am like very, very single. You know, there's people that I have like, you know, there are lovers out there. They're not here. But in terms of like a significant other, that is something I would definitely want because I feel like if you can be yourself, you can voice your wants and needs, that's only going to make your relationship stronger. And I feel like that's what gives longevity. You're not felt like you're held down. I don't want it to be like, oh, it's only women that feel that way or men that feel that way. No, it's any human being that just wants more than what's on, and this is, I don't want to say what's more on the table, but they don't want to like limit their experiences. Even though you found someone that you love, it's like, why not share with that person? You know, and I feel like that's why poly is such an amazing thing, is because, you know, you're open. There's no lying. There's no deception. Mind you, I'm pretty sure there's still issues that can happen in a relationship, but you know what I mean? How long have you guys?
I think it's important to know it's like, a cheater is a cheater. There are ways to cheat in any kind of relationship.
Exactly.
You know, even if you have something that you've agreed upon with your partner, whether y'all are, you know, fuck buddies or, you know, y'all have a fucking death pact, like whatever it is, if y'all break those oaths that y'all have to each other, you know, that shit is serious. We've been together for 10 years and we both came into the relationship, you know, I knew, like I've been poly ever since I kind of figured what romantic love is, you know what I mean? So I've been in relationships where I was unhappy because I was with somebody who was like, I can't fuck with that. And I tried to make it work. And I'm like, it's like cutting off a part of myself. So
Yeah.
coming into this relationship, I was like, I want to, whoever I'm with, I want to be able to be my full authentic self.
Yep.
And I want them to be that as well. And, so we've kind of just grown together and been able to learn how to be in this type of relationship together as we continue to grow.
I love that. Honestly, kudos to both of you. Like,
thank you.
It's beautiful. It's black love. Like, you both are smoking hot. Like, I love it. I love it. The first time I actually seen both of you, you're very welcome. It was something you guys did with Ty, and I was like, oh my, they're together and they're married. What is this sexiness? It was just like, it was awesome to see. And black love, especially, I find in porn, it's not done the way you two do it. It's so tasteful. It's just so sexy. And it's tempting for those that I don't even think are into being so open with their sexuality with their partner or even poly. Like, you guys you make it look good. You make it look sexy,
Thank you.
So kudos to you guys.
I think it's important to let people know, like, there are things that we might do that you might not do, but there are other aspects of things that we experiment or try that you can do on your own, by yourself, with your partner, your one monogamous partner, and it's completely all right. You will enjoy that shit. You will have a good fucking time.
Exactly.
It's really just about what is good for you, what is good for your partner, what is good for y'all love, and how y'all can express it. It doesn't have to be on camera. You know what I'm saying? It could be just y'all. But I do think we try to put stuff in all our films that does put an emphasis on that exploration and that sharing of pleasure between one another.
So you guys are into production now. Like, you guys do your own thing, no?
Yes, we have been producing our own films for a while, and just been, steadily, grabbing a piece of equipment here, something else there, and just trying to add on to it, but still keeping, like, there are things we love about big giant production, but there are also things we love about amateur and putting the camera in the hands of somebody who is not a film person or not a porn person. And like, what do you want to see? What do you want to experience and convey to somebody who's in your position, that's watching from at home, that is not in the industry, So like, we try to do a lot of stuff like that, as well as the, big productions too.
It's smart because, listen, if the money is coming straight to you and you are running everything, that just puts you on a way higher plateau. And it opens up the doors for more Black porn stars to work just with you, to feel that comfort, to know that, they're not going to be in an area where they're not going to be called nigger or here's some fucked up shit on set. And like, especially being so vulnerable for something that, that is your livelihood, you want to be comfortable. You know what I mean? Their next question, very interesting, because I'm happy you brought up how you got into this. When was the first time a woman paid you for sex?
Hypothetically, I was 18 years old.
Damn, you were making money like that? Let me find out. That's amazing. Like that. Listen,
I got my start. I got my start in sex work, and doing like cuckolding and private domination sessions. So that's like
hot.
From when I was legally able to do so.
Yeah. So you've been like, this is amazing. Like, you were seasoned. Like, you gotta pat yourself on the back.
Is that seasoned? I marinated, marinated, seasoned. Dry rub, wet rub, all that shit.
And it's interesting because the last episode, a girlfriend of mine, which you do know as well, she's an erotic artist, Zen Gold. I believe she's going to be commissioning a beautiful piece for you. She brought up that, not a lot of men have gone into, either any type of sex work, especially like, I wouldn't want to say gigolo, but selling some dick. Let's just say. But apparently, a lot of guys she knows now, it's coming on the trend. Do you know what I mean? It's something that I feel like men are now being more comfortable with their sexuality, that they're open and talking about it? Because I feel like it's something that's been taboo. A lot of people don't really talk about it.
I think the taboo part was less about men and more about how women spend their money. You know, I think that there is truly something in society where it's just like men are always judging every single fucking thing that women do. How y'all dress, how y'all walk, how y'all talk, how you spend your money, you know, what you doing for work. Whether you have kids, you don't have kids, whatever the fuck it is, men got some shit to say about what women do and men need to shut the fuck up about it. And I think it really is kind of the taboo part was a lot of people told women, like, if you spend your money on a professional, then maybe something is wrong with you, even though men have been paying for prostitutes openly since before Jesus. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's kind of like
Jesus was hanging out with the hoes, like.
Exactly. You know, it's the oldest profession, but I do think it does have to do with, you know, women spending money on a professional means that that woman is getting exactly what she wants, exactly who she wants. So she ain't got to listen to your bullshit. She ain't got to accept your weak presentation or your lack of focus on pleasing her. She's going to go with somebody who is specifically there to do just that.
Listen, I've said it before, and you know, when my money gets real good, like, I'm gonna be a trick, men and women, whatever you got. You sexy, I'm feeling it. Take my money, like.
Because it's like what you said with the unicorn. Because as the person who is, you know, not even like if you're a connoisseur and you out there paying for sex workers to spend time with, when it is over, you can say, thank you very much for your services. I appreciate you and you have a good evening.
You know what I also think it is? It's that, sorry about that, I just dropped my phone real quick. Is I think a lot of men can't wrap the concept that women want sex with no strings attached. Women want sex without you calling us the next day, being our boyfriends, buying us a ring, having your babies. We can literally fuck you and just be like, all right, thanks, see you later. And if I never see you again, you know, one time was fine with me. Like, I've talked about it. I've had conversations with guy friends and they're like, oh, but like, how does that work? You know, and then it degrades the kind of woman you are. Like, oh, well, you can never be in a relationship then if you're the type that can do this. It's like, no, men could be a dog their entire life and then find one girl and be like, oh my God, I love her. I want to give her the world. It happens, you know? So
I think it has to do with men's perceived ownership over how women feel and what y'all do.
It's bullshit. Well, anyways, I'll tell you right now, the results we got right here. So for the fellas, the question was, fellas, has a lady ever paid you for sex? 21% open-endedly said yes. I bet you wish a lot of them were like, say, instead of saying no, which was 79%, said yes. Because what man would not want to get paid and to fuck?
There's some, I mean, I think the profession of sex work does also have this kind of preconceived notion around it that anybody can do it. Especially when it comes to men, people think that all men just want to have sex all the time. Like one of my closest brothers, he is the most monogamous person I know. Like he's not interested in non-monogamous relationships. So like, you know, I'm poly and we get into these, you know, philosophical conversations about it. And we're not trying to change each other's mind. It's just like, you know, letting each other know kind of like where we stand. And I'm just like, wow, bro, like that shit is for you. Like some people be like, oh, no one's born monogamous. Yeah, he was, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like it really does come down to what's for you. And I think for sex work is not easy. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of things that, you know, from the upkeep of your health, the upkeep of your body, the upkeep of your mental health, you know, there you have to be all aspects of your a legal team. You got to be all the office. You got to be your own Office Depot out this motherfucker. You got to be on social media. Like it's a whole lot of work. You know, so I do think some people they think it might be fun or there are fun times, but it's still work, you know. So I think that there are just some people that's not built for it either, no matter what their gender is.
Yeah, it's interesting that you brought up the whole aspect of being like a one woman man or whatever your show, is people only think of just the sex. They really just think it's just you go on set and you just fucking like, you don't just get up and you're always fucking. Like, there's so much more to it. And you also got to take in like how you look. You know, we will fuck and, you know, when there's not a camera and you just looking all kinds of crazy. You got to still keep in mind of how you're looking on camera. Am I right or am I wrong?
Or just not give a fuck at all.
So what do you
Because
prefer?
no matter
What do you
what,
prefer?
no matter what, people are gonna try, and you know, trolls are just gonna troll no matter what. So,
Sure.
you know, and we're also putting our bodies out there to the point where people are trying to dissect like my dick hole or something. You know what I mean? Like they're so intricate. They're like,
Has someone sent you a DM be like, your dick hole's weird, dude?
not specifically my dick hole, but like other body parts, you know, just people will comment on it. You know what I mean? So like I've definitely had people comment on my dick hole before. Like, I would love to lick your dick
Whatever they
hole.
gotta say, they capping. Because for those that do not know, King Noire does have his own dildo, so you can fuck his dick, ladies or gentlemen, whatever
Please
you
do.
want a dick in you.
Please do. But I do think for me, I definitely I look at it as art. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I do like to do positions that, you know, stress the work that I do on my body. You know what I'm saying? So like some shit that might be like a hard plank or something that's opening up our legs and we're kind of like holding this crazy ass
Really? Look at
position.
that
But
out.
I like doing that. I like doing that even when the camera's not on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, because I feel like the more you push your body, the more blood flow you get through your body. So it kind of like makes all of your feelings and sensations that much more intense.
Oh
You
my.
know, so it's kind of like when you stress certain, you know, and obviously you can only do it to the level of which you're comfortable. But
Yeah.
it's like, you know, blood flow is so important in our sexual pleasure and performance, both
Yeah.
men and women. You know, so like, and whatever body parts you have, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if you do certain things and you work certain parts of your body, you know, ladies do your kegels, dudes do your magels. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit really does help because
It's
then you have
very
certain
true.
control over the muscles that are around your pleasure organs, or and then also the other parts of your body that you might want to just I wonder what happens if I raise this leg. So you want to make sure you're limber or that you have some
Yeah.
strength there because you don't want to catch a cramp in the middle of the shit. You
It's
know what I
true. Let
mean?
me
So
tell you something, okay? And like, unfortunately, I am not getting any regular sex whatsoever. Like, it's been a minute. Like, it's also I'm like, I don't even remember the last time. But I will tell you this: my ass has been working out like insane. Like, I'm in like
get it.
gym mode because now our gyms are back and open. Because we literally here in Toronto, it like our gyms just opened not even a month ago. So
Wow.
it was, yeah, like jailhouse workouts at home. And I really can't do that. And the Ty's class, let me tell you, shout out to Tayomi, Glamazon Tayomi.
Bottom cowgirl.
Yes. The stretches, I'm like, the next time I have sex, boom, and every clock, because I am Jamaican. Oh my God. The way I'm going to put it on a nigga leg. Because I'm way more flexible. I understand my body more. And I totally understand what you mean in terms of working the body parts close to your sexual organs. Because the way that everything is just tighter and I can feel and understand my body no more is that I know when the next time I do have sex, it's going to be like, shit's going to be on and popping.
I think that that's a great example, like with the Rodham Cowgirl, and also, you know, always shout out to Glamazon Tyone. But
Hey.
you know, with working on your legs in the way that you do in that class. So there's now if you do it and you getting proficient in all that, right? You're gonna be able to control your body in a way like, you know what? When I'm riding, I like when his dick hits me right in this spot, and you will be able to control your body to get to right to that spot, you
Facts.
know, to
And
bring
this, because
yourself that pleasure. You know what I'm
literally,
saying?
she just really focuses on stretching out your hips and the certain like positions and stretching that we do. You really focus a lot on your breathing, which I love that she taught
Yeah.
me. And the breathing, I use those techniques when I'm in the gym, and it's just like my endurance, my stamina is like on 10. Like there's times
That's
I'm
what's
running on
up.
the treadmill for 2 minutes and like I could never have done that before. But like breathing and just like listening and understanding your body. So people, work out if you want some good sex. Take care of your bodies. Because
And whatever that workout means for you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be an Olympic sprinter, you know what I'm saying? But at least, work on some stretches, do some different lifts and holds. And I'm dead ass, men, if you want to get really, really good at controlling your orgasm and lengthening the time that you have sex, work on strengthening those muscles that you use, you know what I'm saying, for Kegel exercises.
ooh, we here for it. Now, our next question, this I really want to know. And I feel like yours might be yes, but it could be a no. Have you ever had sex in a classy or high-end establishment? So I mean, I don't mean in the Ritz in a hotel room. I mean at like a fucking gorgeous dinner. So you're in Cali right now. So the Ivy.
Yes.
The Ivy is a very nice, classy place. I haven't been yet. So if
Does it
you
have to be a public establishment, or could it be a private classy place? Because I've definitely fucked
okay.
in a lot of those.
Love it. Listen, it could be both. It could be like a gala. If it's
Yeah,
somewhere.
I fucked in a art gallery before.
Oh, that's hard. That, you know what?
I
Make
want
a
to.
bucket list.
I would like to do a scene. I would like to do a scene in an art gallery. I gotta find somebody who's down for
That would be
letting
hard.
us fuck in front of their paintings.
Listen, I want to see it. I'll spend the money. That'd
I
be
feel
beautiful.
like the Met should let us fuck in that temple that they brought to New York from Egypt. Since y'all stole it from our house, you should let us do whatever we want.
Listen, do you remember in Black Panther, Michael B. Jordan's character is like, you guys stole this. We should be going into every museum. This is from my motherland. I take this now. It's stolen. How are you going to steal something like that's already stolen? You can't. It's up for grabs. But
I'm gonna reappropriate it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Right. So for those that were like yourself that fucked in a classy or high-end establishment, it was a close 50-50, y'all. Y'all be fucking.
Okay.
It was 51%. 51.
Y'all classy motherfuckers out there.
Y'all put me to shame. I've never fucked anywhere classy. Like I'm like,
Oh,
I have a long list of shit to do. I gotta fuck in an art gallery. I gotta fuck at the Met Gala. Like, watch, we're gonna find ourselves, both of us, me, you, and Jazz and Ty. I'm calling it now. We're gonna be at a Met Gala. And we're all there.
Okay.
It's gonna be like an Ocean's 11, but a freaky Ocean's 11. We're like,
well, y'all just gotta make sure. Y'all gotta make sure that y'all don't wear none of them wild dresses that they be wearing to the Met Gala. That it'll take 45 minutes to get out of that shit.
No. We're Oceans. We're gonna Oceans this shit. So we're gonna plan it so that if there's like contraptions that we can do freaky shit real quick. So
just
I don't know.
2 snaps and the whole shit unfold. Yeah, I'm with that.
And then when
that's
we're
how
leaving,
my tuxedo gonna be. It's a rip away tuxedo.
We'll have clothes stashed somewhere else. When we do our and we'll do it all in different plexiglass areas, like that would be some clashy shit. Imagine they hear this and they're like, "Don't invite those four, no invitations."
They gonna follow me around if I just go to look at some shit now. They like, he gonna fuck on that. Don't let him look over there. He gonna fuck on that.
I want to do it on the classiest piece of furniture where everybody gonna see the red carpet. As soon as you come in, just
there you go.
So I'm part of the 49%. That's actually crazy. So guys, I promise you I will not do you wrong. This was gonna happen. The next question though, I was really close. And I used to manage it's kind of like Victoria's Secret. We have it here. It was called La Senza. It's panties, bras, lingerie, all that jazz.
Okay.
I was a manager at the time, and the guy I was seeing came to visit me, It's like, hey, it was towards the end of the night. And I was about to, for everyone that used to work with me, they're like, oh, what day was this? It was a day where I was closing and it was a short staff. So there was like me and like 3 other people on the floor. So I was in the back doing things and he came towards them. They all knew he was my boyfriend. They're like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, even though there's cameras, which is mad illegal, like the man shouldn't have been in the store after hours, but whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll be outside soon. Like, oh, give me about like 45 minutes. We can clean and leave. And me and him almost fucked in like the fucking handicap bath, like the change room. We were fooling around and it was like, I was like, no, you know what? Shit. They already seen you came in and I'm back here for like longer than I'm supposed to. So I didn't fully get the fucking on, but one of these days I'm going to get a personal shopper at Saks or one of these nice places. I'm going to do my thing because it's on my list. And the question was, have you ever had sex in a dressing room? You have to think about it, so it's probably yeah.
I've got head in the dressing room. I have.
Okay.
I do not remember if I've had full sex in the dressing room, but I have.
I feel like if you had full sex in a dressing room, they would know.
I used to work at this clothing spot in Jersey called Against All Odds, and yeah, I got head in there once.
See, there you go.
I don't know if that spot still exists or not, but.
Probably not.
If y'all do, shout out to Against All.
I got some head in your store. It was great. 20,
you.
right? 25% said yes. So
okay,
interesting. I would like to know what stores this works at. I would assume, you know what?
I'm sure it works at less stores now than it did back in the day.
With COVID?
You know what I'm saying? Like now, well, I mean, COVID period, but fuck just COVID, like there's cameras everywhere
in that
so
bitch.
It's kind of like everywhere on top of everywhere. Like you probably just you walking back there together, they just gonna run on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
you gotta
75.
do that shit at a super fancy spot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you're like,
that's
you
what I'm
slip
saying.
them a little
Saks
extra
would
money
work.
and they let you rock out.
Yeah. Don't you think Saks would work? Like if I'm coming in there, I'm blowing 20 racks. Okay. I'm buying shoes. I'm buying bags. I'm buying jewelry. You gonna let me suck a little dick and get some fucking ass in this change room right quick. And you know what? These
I ain't
places
spending all this money, so I can't fucking
not only that, look at this. No. These stores be giving you champagne by the glass, and they always, would you like some more? Would you like some more? When you're in personal shopping and stuff. So what the fuck did you expect? You know, I'm here with my husband. I'm trying on fucking La Perla and Agent Provocateur.
They bring you oysters.
Right. You could probably get oysters too. If you guys see me personal shopping anywhere fancy, okay? I'm in Gucci, Prada, Louis, any of them places, and there's oysters and champagne, and I'm with a man, best believe I'm getting some fucking on in that change room. Okay. Just dropping dirty hints all day. But yeah, so we'll see. We will see in terms of what happens in the future, but 75% said no. So it's probably not that easy. I think everyone tries or maybe has an idea. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it has to do more with the opportunity, you know, and I worked at the spot. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to do when you don't work there because people are already thinking like, man, what y'all going back there to steal together?
Oh,
they're not even thinking that y'all fucking. They like, what kind of thievery is this? Like, what y'all doing? You know, so I don't know. I think it definitely has to do with that kind of opportunity. Because I think if the question was, have you ever fucked at your job? Like that shit gotta be like a very high percentage. Like everybody got the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know, you work late or you know where the little slide off location is or whatever. I think that would be a higher percentage.
I got head in the club.
I have fucked at almost every job I worked at, and now my job is to fuck at my job.
They were like, get this motherfucker out here. He keep fucking in the job. No, honestly, me, the only time is because like this is a long time ago. I still am in the bar industry, but yeah, I was doing bottle service at the time. Me and one of the promoters, you know, we were fucking around. To say the least. Nice. And it was one of those, it was like towards the end of the night, almost everyone's gone. I think I just finished cashing out and we were going to leave anyways. And guess you couldn't wait. So closest thing, absolute closest. The next question I want to get into was actually catered to something you tweeted.
Uh-oh.
It's It literally, I was like, what? And it was so hot. So it was along the lines of you wanting her to suck you off and swallow it, put the cum back in your mouth, and then put it back in her mouth. Something along the lines
no,
of,
I said that I wanted to nut inside of her pussy, eat it out, and then spit it in her mouth.
man, it sounds even better. Lord. So I was like, yo, I wonder if a lot of guys are into trying their own cum. Because women, we taste ourselves all the time. Or if smelling it, like, you know, even if it's not sexual reason, you're like, what's going on, bitch?
Yeah.
Like, you know? Like,
True.
or especially those times if you're like super wet for no reason, ladies, you know what I'm talking about? And you just kind of like, is like, what's going on? And my like, is it my period? Like, did something else happen? Like, why am I so wet? Every woman's have had that moment where like nothing's going on. You're like, what is it, girl? Like, what is it? What did you want? Like, did you see something? So I asked, and I was like, I wanted to know, fellas, have you ever tried your own cum? The percentage was way higher than I thought. Even if this is the thing, I know there's some people that skip over the questions, don't answer honestly because they're like, oh, I don't want her to know. Guys, I actually don't know. I don't look at who says yes or no. I literally just look at, I'm a numbers girl. So 40% have tried their own cum. And I didn't ask how. I wasn't, your situation is sexy as hell. Like slurping it out, like, you know, but it could be just jacking off and be like, what does this taste like? You know, I don't know. When was the first time you tried your own cum?
I don't know. I was young.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've always been like super kind of like open with stuff like that. It's mine. So
it's like you're not.
Also I'm asking other people to swallow that shit. I should at least be able to sell the product. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
it's like when you're cooking, you gotta taste it.
I think it's like I'm into fluids though. Like I like spit. I love creamy pussy, squirting pussy, just fluids, breast milk. Like, oh my God,
really?
like fluids are sexy to me. Yo, when Jazz is pregnant, we got a scene where Jazz and I are both. So I'm coming on this woman and Jazz is just squirting her breast milk on her. And to me, it's like one of the hottest scenes that we ever did.
Wow.
And
that's I would love to see that. That's interesting.
And also like, I can't speak for everyone's breast milk, but Jasmine's breast milk tastes like the milk from Cinnamon Toast Crunch at the end of the bowl. Like that shit was amazing. Other people,
she's so fine.
Other people who know her can also vouch for that shit. Like she had like condensed milk. It's amazing.
Wow.
But you
need to know her diet.
So you know about condensed milk. But but like, yo, real talk. I think that's why for me, like it's extra hot for me. Like I love it when women like squirt my face or like squirt all over me. Like it's just a fucking hot thing to me. So you know, sharing my fluids with them and then back with me, and then I don't know. I love that shit.
The chef needs to know what he's cooking. Honestly, I've always I wouldn't say I'm into fluids per se. I'm just very curious. And there was a question a couple weeks ago. I asked him, like, have you ever played with your spouses or your lovers cum? And like, there's been plenty, like, there's some times I've like examined it, be like, so why does it look like this time and this time? Like, just, I don't know if it's the Virgo in me that is just super curious or, you know, weird. I don't know. But to find someone that is interested in trying their own says a lot. Does say a lot. So I'm down with the 40%. The other percentage I had here was 60% said no. And I think it's more of like I wouldn't say a fear. So, you know, some people take a shit and they don't want to look at it. They just flush. They just don't want to know. They're like, I don't know. Because what if they think it might be rancid? You know, you're someone who obviously takes care of their body. So you know what you're just going in. So
well, then you should kind of look though, because if it's gray, then you need to rush to a doctor or something. I mean,
what does gray cum mean?
No, I was saying like if you took a gray shit, then you're like completely
I
fucked.
was like, yeah,
You're
no,
like,
you
you're rancid
dying.
for real.
It's like, you ever eat a beet salad and then take a shit?
I drink beet juice. And the first time I ever drank beet juice, I was like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with me? I
I had one of those moments. I called my mom immediately. I was like, oh my God, I'm dying. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And she's like, what do you, I'm like, I just shit and it's all red. She's like, what did you eat today? I'm like, I had this and that. It's just like, it's the beets. I was like, what do you mean it's the beets? She goes, beets make your shit red. Like it looks red. I'm like, oh, I'm like, so I'm not internally bleeding from inside. And she's like, no, you idiot. I was like, oh, okay. It's so scary. Like, what? They should have that on a warning label. Be like, may have pertain red shit. You know, I don't know.
The first time I ever had beet juice, a friend of mine brought me this big thing of beet juice because I was sick. So
Yeah.
I was like, I was like under the weather, and I won't even lie. Like when I'm sick, I consume massive quantities of marijuana. Like I'm like, I hate being sick. I'm just gonna be really high right now. You know what I'm saying?
Best thing you could do. I do it for
so
period
I'm
cramps, though.
I'm drinking all this beet juice, and I'm sick as fuck. So like then when I look down, I'm like, yo, I'm like more sick than I thought I was because I'm also high as fuck. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, what the hell's wrong with me? And then finally put two and two together, like, oh, calm the fuck down.
That is
But then
fucking
beats will do it to
hilarious.
you.
No, beet juice is actually fucking way too scary. Way too fucking scary. I don't condone anyone to do it without knowing what happens. Okay, so our last question here for our smutty pool. And we talked about this last week because Zen loves it. I don't know if you've seen what Zen looks like. Zen has some big ass titties. Like, I got big titties. Zen's got like my head and then my head. Huge. So we talked about this. She's a huge fan of titty fucking. I don't care for it. Maybe I've never done it properly. It's just, to me, I just feel like I'm just holding them and trying to make it work, and it's never does. So I'm not a fan. Are you a fan of titty fucking? I know you don't have tits, obviously, but do you like putting your dick between some tits?
Yes, I like doing all types of things with titties. So adding as whatever's on the list, I'm all for that shit. Is it like, to me, it's not something that I particularly always I'm like, yo, let's do this shit.
Yeah.
But if the woman is really into it, then it's even more of a turn on. You know what I'm saying? Because then it's just like,
because she said she's orgasmed. Like it was felt so good that like
wow.
she can't. I was like, my tits are whatless. Like what the fuck? Like I'm like, they don't do anything. I'm like, I gotta figure it out. I don't know. But
I do love slapping my dick on breast though.
That I can understand. Like, it's like a drum, you know?
It's like that slap sensation feel good as hell.
Right? Men love anything slapping, but 61% love it. So I need to figure out what to do with my tits because that's a lot of women that like their tits being fucked, and 39% said no. So I had my ass into that. That's a good 40%. But I would like to say, I did not know this. So you are an artist as well. For those that do not know, I checked out your music today, and first of all, I knew you had a sexy voice, but like the whole rapping and everything was absolutely gorgeous. I believe the song that I listened to was Hustle Matrimony. And it was just so beautiful, so sexy, and definitely like I had to save it. It's definitely on my Spotify. So for those that, aren't familiar with the song, check it out. When did you decide to get into music?
I've been rhyming since I was like yay high. Just always been into music. I used to play the saxophone and the viola. I DJ parties from when I was like 13 years old. So, music has just always been a part of my life. And I wanted to make music that went with our scenes.
Yeah.
So kind of like just descriptive songs or just shit that set the vibe.
Yeah, it's all in one show. Right? Well, honestly.
Exactly. And we do live shows that we've had on stage with Tayomi at Exotica and stuff like that. So, we love to put on a good show.
Right? Well, honestly, my love, Noire, it's been such a fucking pleasure. I honestly cannot thank you so much like more. I don't even know how much I can thank you enough for coming here and joining me here on the Nympho Diaries. Is there any last things you would like to say?
Oh yeah, just thank you to everybody, that's tuning in right now. Keep supporting dope shows like this and make sure that you support Royal Fetish XXX.com, King Noir XXX.com. Of course, I got that OnlyFans King Noir for all kinds of BTS behind the scenes and the random freaky shit that I be doing on a constant basis. So come fuck with me and come with me,
Amen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is another one. X and O's hoes. We out.